From the corridors of power in Pretoria to the glittering skyline of Paris, the story of Nathi Mthethwa reads like a political thriller. A liberation hero turned powerful minister, a man who once stood at the heart of South Africa's government, now found dead beneath a luxury Paris hotel. The window of his 22nd floor suite forced open. A mysterious message sent to his wife just hours before his body was discovered. Accident? Suicide? Or something far darker connected to the deep power struggles within South Africa's ruling elite? Tonight, we uncover how one of South Africa's most influential men went from power to peril to Paris, and why his death could shake the foundations of South African politics. Stay tuned. Born on January 23, 1967, in Kwambanambi, Natal Province, Nkosinathi Emmanuel Nathi Mthethwa grew up in an era defined by resistance and revolution. As a young activist, he joined the anti-apartheid movement, standing shoulder to shoulder with the African National Congress, long before freedom was won. In 2002, he entered parliament. By 2008, he was South Africa's Minister of Safety and Security, later known as the Minister of Police, overseeing the country's internal security during a turbulent time. Under President Jacob Zuma, Mthethwa became one of the most powerful figures in the cabinet, a trusted enforcer, a strategist, and sometimes a lightning rod for controversy. In 2014, he shifted to the cultural front, leading the Ministry of Arts and Culture and later the Ministry of Sports, Arts, and Culture until 2023. Then came a new chapter, diplomacy. In 2023, he was appointed South Africa's ambassador to France, presenting his credentials in February 2024. It was a prestigious posting, Paris, the City of Lights. But beneath the surface, something was brewing. The veteran minister was stepping into a new world, one that would soon turn dark. That night, Nathi Mthethwa was reported missing. Hours earlier, his wife had received a disturbing message, cryptic, emotional, and final. The next morning, his body was discovered at the foot of the 22nd floor of the Hyatt Regency Hotel in the upscale Port Mayo district. French prosecutors confirmed the window's safety latch had been forced open. There were no signs of struggle, no traces of drugs or alcohol. South Africa's government called it a national tragedy. But privately, officials were stunned. How could one of their most seasoned diplomats, a man trained in security and discipline, fall to his death under such suspicious circumstances? Was it suicide and accident, or was someone else in that room that night? The mystery deepened when reports surfaced of missing surveillance footage and whispers that Mthethwa had been under investigation back home. The stage was set for a political firestorm. For years, Mthethwa had stood at the center of power, but also at the center of controversy. As Minister of Police, he oversaw the Marikana massacre in 2012, when police opened fire on striking miners, killing 34 people. It was the bloodiest state violence since apartheid, and his leadership came under fierce public attack. Years later, just weeks before his death, his name resurfaced, this time in front of the Madlenga Commission of Inquiry in South Africa. Witnesses alleged that Mthethwa had interfered in police investigations during his time in office. International headlines soon followed. Top South African diplomat plunges to his death in Paris, after being linked to major corruption probe. Whether the investigation had anything to do with his final days remains unknown. But the timing, the allegations, the Paris posting, the sudden death, felt almost too coincidental. Was the former minister running from scandal, or caught in something larger, a silent war between factions inside South Africa's political elite? Mthethwa's death isn't just another tragic footnote. It reveals how personal crises and political struggles intertwine in today's globalized world. South Africa, once the moral compass of post-apartheid democracy, is now wrestling with the infiltration of criminal networks, political corruption, and fragile public trust. When a senior diplomat dies under shadowy circumstances abroad, it's more than a personal loss. It's a reflection of a nation's image, its diplomacy, and its stability. His fall in Paris mirrors a broader story, one of diplomats under pressure, leaders haunted by scandal, and the thin line between duty and self-destruction. And it also exposes a universal truth. Even at the highest levels of power, the human cost of politics can be devastating. As this investigation unfolds, 3 key questions will shape the story ahead. Small blue diamond first. What will French investigators conclude? Suicide, accident, or foul play? Will any digital or financial evidence link back to South Africa's ongoing corruption inquiries? Small blue diamond second. How will South Africa respond? Will the Madlinga Commission expand its scope, or will political insiders close ranks? Small blue diamond third. What about diplomacy itself? How safe are ambassadors posted abroad, especially those entangled in domestic scandals? If evidence ties Mthethwa's death to political pressure or threats, it could send shockwaves through Pretoria, forcing reform, accountability, and a deeper reckoning inside the ANC government. Because this isn't just about one man. It's about what happens when power, secrecy, and mental strain collide, far from home and under the watchful eyes of the world. From the dusty townships of Kwambanambai to the grand avenues of Paris, Nathi Mthethwa's journey was one of ambition, power, and tragedy. He lived as a fighter, governed as a loyalist, and died as an enigma. What truly happened in that Paris hotel room? A man's final act, or the final move in a much bigger game? His story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the cost of politics, the hidden toll of power, and the fragility of those who carry a nation's burdens on their shoulders. Well, if this deep dive gripped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because we'll be tracking every new development in this investigation and others like it around the world. Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe this was suicide or something much darker at play? Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and never stop questioning the stories that shape our world.